Welcome to the tutorial on diversion of forest land under Forest Conservation Act 1980 for NH road projects. In this session, we will discuss how the forest land will be diverted, and also we will see the related circulars in this session. Myself, Suman, working as AWE at NH Division Vijayawada. See, those who are in road sector has to know the procedures for acquisition of revenue as well as diversion of forest land. Why? Because if we want to lay any road in the revenue land, we need to acquire. For acquisition of those lands, we have to follow NH Act 1956. Similarly, if we want to lay the road in forest area, we need to divert the forest land. The diversion of forest land is as per the guidelines mentioned in Forest Conservation Act 1980. Diversion means diversion is temporary because even after diversion also the legal status of the road will be forest only. So coming to the act says for taking up of any non-forestry activity in the forest area, prior permission of the central government or state government is required under section 2 of Forest Conservation Act 1980. Any work in violation of this act will become offense. What is violation? If you do any non-forestry activity in the forest without prior permission from the competent authority, it is called violation. If you violate, what happens? As per the ministry's recent circular, if any user agency responsible for violation shall be prosecuted under local act of the state for unauthorized use of forest land. And also the forest department officials has to face disciplinary charges. So once if violation case is booked, then it is difficult to get the working permission without prosecution of the officials responsible for violation. So it is better not to enter the forest land at any cost without obtaining prior permission. Similar to land acquisition, we have 3 capital A, 3 capital B, C, D, E, H. In the similar way, for forest clearance also, it will be issued in two stages. Stage 1, in principle approval. Stage 2, final approval. In general, work to be executed on the diverted land by the user agency only after receipt of the final approval, that is stage 2. But some relaxations for more NHA projects has been given. Government of India, with a view to facilitate speedy executions of the project involving linear diversion of the forest lands, such as laying of new roads, widening of existing highways by NHA, MORTH, BRO, that in principle approval, that means stage 1, will be deemed as the working permission for tree cutting and commencement of the work, provided if the required funds for compensatory afforestation, NPV, and all such other compensatory levies specified in the in principle approval are realized from the user agency. That means for the projects executed by the MORTH or NHAA, after obtaining stage 1 clearance, whatever the amount that has to be paid to the forest department for compensatory afforestation, NPV, net present value, or any other conditions given in the stage 1 orders. If the agency deposit that amount to the central government, then as per the provisions of the MOEF, temporary working permission can be obtained for commencement of the work and also felling of the trees without waiting for the stage 2 clearance. This, this temporary working permission is valid only for 1 year. Meanwhile, we have to process for stage 2 clearance. Now we will see how this stage 1 clearance will be accorded. We'll just brief, later we'll come to the clarity. For applying any diversion proposal, we need to upload the documents in parivesh.nac.in. What are the documents required? Form A, detail note, justification report, undertaking to pay CA, NPV, additional NPV, RYFR certificate issued by the district collector, DGP survey topo sheet of forest land and authentication maps, DGP survey topo sheet of CA land and authentication maps, KML files of the forest and CA land, authorization certificate, cost benefit analysis. All these things will be discussed in detail in the upcoming video. Meanwhile, we will just broadly see how the stage 1 clearance will be accorded. All these things are required for applying for the proposal. Yeah, the proposal for diversion of forest land will be submitted in this portal parivesh.nac.in. Uh, if you are new to this one, we need to create user ID password through here, and I will just broadly show how the proposal will be forwarded. After After having the sufficient documents, we will upload all the documents in this portal and it will be forwarded to the nodal officer, additional PCF. Nodal officer verifies the proposal for its completeness, and if it is okay, then he will ask the user agency for submitting the hard copies, and after submitting the hard copies to the additional PCF, the additional PCF will forward the proposal to DF consent. DFO, after receiving the proposal, he will inspect the site. He will prepare necessary schemes for CA, NPV, and all these things. And with recommendations, he will forward the proposal to the circle level. From the circle level, again with recommendations, it will be forwarded to the nodal office. From the nodal office, again with recommendations, it will be forwarded to the state government. From the state government, it will be again forwarded to the regional office, where stage 1 clearance will be accorded. So for obtaining stage 2, we have to comply all the conditions given in the stage 1 orders, and the compliance report we have to submit to the DFO. From DFO, again it will be verified and sent to circle. From circle, it will be forwarded to the nodal office. From the nodal office to state government. From the state government to regional office. There stage 2 will be accorded. Instead of waiting for stage 2 approval, for speedy execution of NHA MORTH projects, after according stage 1 clearance, whatever the conditions imposed, necessary funds for raising compensatory afforestation, the NPV, and any other conditions given in the stage 1 orders, that amount has to be deposited for the government. Then we can ask for working permission, which is temporary working permission. Coming to the road projects, we come across two scenarios. One is improvement oblique maintenance of road to the existing width. What Act says, if the existing road is notified prior to 1980 in the respective block notification, then permission for carrying out improvement oblique maintenance of road to the admitted width only will be accorded by state government in accordance with the guidelines issued by MOEF, provided that area is falling outside of protected area and no tree felling is required. What does it mean? If there is an existing road, single lane road, which is passing through reserve forest, that reserve forest is not a wildlife sanctuary, moreover national park, that reserve forest is not eco-sensitive zone. And if without widening this existing road, that is single lane road, I am not widening to two lane or anything. I am just improving the road. I am just planning to improve the road. Improve in the sense I want to go for additional BM or BC layer. For that one, what I have to do is I will just obtain the permission from the state government as per these guidelines without submitting the proposal for diversion, provided there are no trees required to be felled. In the second case, for widening of the existing road, here what I do is that single lane road I am planning to widening it to two lane with paved shoulder. That means I need to apply diversion proposal. So who is the competent authority? If my diversion area is less than 1 hectare and felling of trees is limited to 15 numbers, then state government is competent to issue stage 1 clearance. And secondly, in case of LWE districts, what is LWE districts? As per MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs, so far in the state of Andhra Pradesh, 6 districts are announced as LWE districts. Those are East Godavari, Guntur, Srikakulam, Vishakhapatnam, Vijayanagaram, and West Godavari. If my district is in the list of LW districts and my diversion of forest land is not more than 40 hectares and felling of trees is less than 50 per hectares, in that case also state government is competent to issue stage 1 orders. Secondly, if my diversion area is less than 40 hectares but felling of trees is more than 50 numbers per hectare, in that case the proposal will be placed before the committee constituted by the state government. These are the 5 members who will decide to issue the stage 1 orders. In the third case, more than 1 hectare and less than 40 hectares in case of non-LW district. In that case, MOEF Chennai or IRO Vijayawada is competent to issue stage 1 orders. And finally, if the diversion area is more than 40 hectares, in that case, MOEF New Delhi is the competent authority to issue stage 1 orders. If I want to, before applying diversion proposal, what I have to do? Firstly, at the DPR stage, I will have a joint inspection with the forest department to see the likely reserve forest through which my road is passing. And secondly, I will obtain the RF block notifications. Thirdly, as far as possible, try to keep the existing road only without any realigning or bypass in the forest forest reserve area, provided in exceptional cases. Fourthly, in the RF block notification, I will just verify the right of way particulars mentioned about the existing road. Generally, so far I have seen 3 types of uh, things will be written regarding right of way. First one is admitted right of way, second one is excluded from reservation, third one is cart track. I will just differentiate these 3 things. If in the RF block notification, if the right of way mentioned as excluded from reservation, it clearly says that right of way width is excluded from Forest Conservation Act. So no need to apply for diversion to work in that excluded portion. In the second case, road was admitted. That means the existing road only admitted, and if we want to go for additional width, we need to divert. And third case is car track was admitted. That means there is no black topping was mentioned in the block notification. That's why if you want to lay the road, we need to go for full diversion of the ROW. So next thing is that DGPS survey. Before entering the forest, or if we want to do any activity in the forest, we need to get prior permission from the competent authority. If we want to do the DGPS survey in the reserve forest, we need to get the permission from the PCCF. If we want to conduct DGPS survey in wildlife sanctuary, national park, or eco-sensitive zone, in that case we need to get the permission from PCF wildlife. They are the competent authority. After obtaining permission, we have to do the DGPS survey in presence of forest officials only, provided we have to take necessary photographs, and also we have to peg mark the DGPS coordinates. How to do the DGPS survey? I will just explain with one example. Suppose here in that case existing road was there, and I have the supporting RF block notifications and the road charts supporting that this road was formed before 1980. In that case the existing road was excluded, and in the both sides additional width only we have proposed for diversion. The existing road width is 10 meters, and I want 24 meters. That's why left hand side and right hand side I am going for diversion of 7 meters. In this case I will take 4 DGPS survey points, and along the length not more than 150 meters I will take another 4 points, and if there is any curves I will take additional points so as to maintain the smooth curve. And after DGP survey I will join all the points to know the diversion area. Suppose if I don't have the supporting documents about this road formed before 1980, in that case I will go for full diversion without excluding the existing width. Next, after the DGP survey, I will uh, I will get the topo sheets and also DGPS data in Dynex format, and all these things will be signed from the DGPS consultant, and also get it signed from the user agency, and also get the signatures from the forest officials, from beat officer to the sub DFO, and submit the maps and data to the DFO requesting for authentication in the geomatic cell of PCCF. Then the DFO forwards this data, survey data, to the PCF through CF, and the PCF office will verify the data and authenticate and communicate the DGPS authenticated maps to the DFO. From the DFO, after paying the necessary authentication charges, we obtain the drawings. Suppose we have the suppose our diversion area is 4 hectares. As per the FC Act 1980, if our diversion area is 4 hectares, we have to identify equivalent revenue land adjacent to the reserve forest for raising compensatory afforestation. But some exemptions were given for the central government projects, that compensatory afforestation may be raised on degraded forest land twice in extent of forest area being diverted. That means instead of identifying revenue land, the forest department itself will identify double the degraded land. In that land, whatever is the afforestation charges, that user agency has to pay. So suppose my diversion area is 4 hectares. That's why what I do is I will just request the PCF to instruct the DFO to identify double the degraded land for this project. Then DFO will be instructed from the PCF to identify. Accordingly, DFO will see double the degraded land. That also we conduct DGB survey, and in the same way we get the signatures from everyone, and we'll get authenticate in the office of PCF, and we'll just collect from the DFO by collecting user charges. But there are some relaxations given for LWE districts. In case of LWE districts, proposal up to 5 hectares, there is no requirement of providing CA land. And secondly, in case of non-LWE districts, up to 1 hectare, CA land is not required. So after having all these things, we will just upload the proposal. In the next session, we will just discuss what are these formats, and how we upload the proposal. All these things we will discuss in the next session. Thank you very much. If you have any suggestions, please mail me sumanneely165@gmail.com. Thank you very much.